call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
Mahesahte Hayisaer takes on Gage Young this Saturday at UFC Fight Night Shanghai. And this is a really good fight between two, very talented young up-and-comers. Mahesahte Hayisaer, been in the UFC for a little bit now, since 2022, taking on Gage Young, who was on Dana White's Contender Series, got the short notice call-up to take on Evan Elder on short notice. Now they're giving him, 6 weeks. It's almost a full camp to take on Hayisaer in his own backyard in China. So Gage Young not getting the best circumstances for his career, but taking on Hayisaer, who's also very good, but also, I think this is a winnable fight for both of these guys. Hayisaer is 25. He's 6 foot with a 71.5-inch reach and 10-4 in his career. Orthodox fighter, fights well on the back foot, pulling people into his punches, manages the distance well. Cracked Steve Garcia twice, ended up faceplant KOing him a few years ago, and that win has really aged very well considering how much of a savage Steve Garcia looks as of late. But Hayisaer, really nice straight punches, nice head kicks, kind of pulls guys into the punches. Like I said, with Steve Garcia, he's backing up, and then steps in and, lands the right hand right on the button, but not checking kicks very well against Borjas in their fight. Circles and sticks the jab, wants guys to press in so he can counter, so fighting behind the jab, looking to throw 1-2s, and really good combos, extends his combinations. Doesn't have the best takedown defense, not the best grappler, 45% takedown defense. I think Rafa Garcia got him down like 6 times in that fight, so looking to keep the fight on the feet. Opponents looking to get him to the ground and kind of exploit that gap there. Gage Young, 25 years old as well. He's 5'9" with a 70-inch reach, and he's 9-3 in his career. So he's going to be 3 inches shorter, giving up an 1.5 inch in reach. But, Gage Young, big, powerful dude. I think he's a dog. He reminds me of a young Justin Gaethje, just in his ability to kind of grapple, and has a lot of power on the feet, a lot of finishing ability. Comes from a wrestling background, but looks to usually keep it on the feet. Really good athlete, great striking, really good power, good takedown defense. He's definitely a legit prospect, but he was giving up takedowns against Sal Killed in their fight. Was having success on the feet, though, especially as the fight progressed. Likes to control the center, cut off opponents, likes to take angles, doesn't really follow guys, so he's shown a lot of savvy IQ, I would say, for the limited amount of fights and the small amount of time that he's been a pro. So likes to be the aggressor, moving forward, can take a shot, has a really good chin. Had some really good moments against Sal Killed in that fight, was getting taken down and about out-grappled, but had a really good showing of himself as well against Evan Elder, who I think is very good, very well-rounded. They trained together before as well, but taking that fight on short notice, it is what it is. I thought he had a really good showing of himself, so he's going to learn a lot from that one. And I'm going to pick him to win this one. I think the odds are very even, maybe skewed in Gage Young's favor. He is taking this over in China, so it's going to be on Hayisaer's home field advantage. I think Gage Young said that he was going out there a week before to kind of acclimate to his sleep schedule and to being over there, but Hayisaer is going to have the home field advantage, which could be huge. But Young, I just think he's got more power. I think he's got better chin, better defense. Has had 2 really good performances against legit competition on short notice, whereas Hayisaer, coming off of a loss to Nicolas Mata, he was getting dropped a few times in that fight. Had a split decision to Gabriel Benitez, which you can argue that he lost. Lost the 2 fights before that, had the win against Steve Garcia, and then a decision on the Dana White's Contender Series. His regional fights before that are against guys with losing records. 1-4, 11-15, 0-3, 0-0, 11-14, losing to a guy who's 0-1. So it seems like when he takes a step up in competition outside of the Steve Garcia fight, he's not having the best of luck or squeaking by decision wins. I think that they'll fight for range, and I see Gage getting inside and finding his openings against Hayisaer. I see him pressuring him, getting him to fight on the outside. I think he'll be the one being the aggressor, throwing first and countering Maheshate as he's looking to counter Gage Young. I think he'll mix up in the clinch, get his takedowns. Like I said earlier, Maheshate struggles with the wrestling and the grappling, and Gage Young has, I think he's going to be the stronger guy, definitely going to have the wrestling and grappling advantage that he can lean on, at least to open up his striking and make Maheshate think about the defending the shots. So Young just looked really good. I think he'll look even better now that he's had a full camp, able to strategize and tailor it to a specific opponent who's pretty one-dimensional in terms of just a pure striker. Doesn't look for takedowns, doesn't do well in the wrestling game. So he's worked out the UFC jitters now, been on the Contender Series, taking a short notice fight against a guy in Evan Elder who's really good. So I think despite him having to go overseas and fight in the middle of the night his time, I think Gage Young gets this one done. I think he can get the finish over Maheshate Hayisaer. If not, I think he can, beat him up on the feet, mix in his takedowns, and get a decision. But I do think Gage Young gets this one done. Thanks.